This is not a corporate exit story. It's a reorientation story. Welcome back to the One Handshake podcast. I'm your host, Jillian Vorce. Today we're going to speak with someone whose bold decisions are worth digging into. Jaime Williams is a retail leader with more than 20 years of experience driving growth, margin, and operational transformation across global markets. He held senior commercial roles in Mexico before making a significant international move to the Netherlands to join Heineken, where he worked on retail expansion and new business models across EMEA and APAC. After years operating at a global scale, Jaime made the decision to walk away from corporate life without knowing what would come next. Just 2.5 years later, well, I'll let him tell you. Welcome to One Handshake, Jaime.
Yeah, Jill, thank you for having me. Nice to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. Thanks again for taking some time on your day off, those highly coveted moments of being off. I really appreciate you,
Thank
yeah,
you.
spending time with us. So 2.5 years after leaving your corporate role, you opened Flour Shop in Amsterdam, the city's first physical Mexican bakery, specializing in fresh tortillas and traditional pastries. So we got all kinds of things we could unpack in there. But first, is Flour Bakery your first business?
Yes, formally it's a fair business. Yep, in a nutshell, yes.
Oh my gosh. So talk about, diving into the deep end. Like, tell me about that. How did you, just connect those dots? Like, you had a successful corporate career in Mexico, and then the first hurdle is to go to the other side of the world, come to Europe, continue in the corporate world, and then to jump to an even bigger jump into the unknown, and then to land as the owner of a bakery. It's like, connect those dots for us.
Yeah, I will try because I'm still figuring out. But yes, yeah, I mean, as you say, I think everybody wonders or wants to be an entrepreneur at one point. In my case, I couldn't do it or didn't have the moment. I just work on, as you say, corporate life, quite successful. I think I tried, I'm remembering one time now, between jobs, I tried to make something and it didn't work. So in my mind, it was like
Hmm.
when you're sometimes in this spiritual journey, like, okay, if you're good at corporate, stay in corporate, life is telling you you're good there, you're not, or it's not your time in this part. So stick to what you're doing,
Hmm.
continue that way. And yeah, as you say, after a couple of some years corporate life, I got really, really tired about the corporate life.
Hmm.
Moment came to take a decision also to start with my partner here in the Netherlands, which I met here in Heineken. So we started this, but to be honest, it's connecting the dots. It's been, um, let's say, yeah, a journey, just like
Hmm.
getting along. It's nothing that I really wanted or planned fully. It was
Hmm.
something that it was the first of those 2.5 years you mentioned. It was the first year really sabbatical to detox and to try to
Hmm.
put myself together because it was really, especially the last year at Heineken was a rough ride.
Hmm.
I was with a burnout, actually, very bad
Hmm.
burnout. Yeah.
Hmm.
So the first year was doing that, and then slowly I tried to. My last trip to Mexico was in 2000, yeah, last year, 2024. And I was in Mexico, and then I was eating at my mom's house, actually, tortillas. These tortillas are pre-cooked, and I said, these are very nice. And I realized I miss them a lot. So when I
Hmm.
came back, I told Magda, like, hey, I have this idea, maybe I can do them. And I think in my case, as you're coming out of this burnout, you start to see like the fog starts to clear and you start to see things again. Okay, so
Hmm.
things are coming back to you professionally, I guess, or I'll try to explain. So I went to the supermarket and I realized, okay, there's a lot of Mexican products, which because I was away, and my last part in Heineken was in abroad in Bahamas. So that's when I decided to exit to come back, right?
Hmm. You left the Bahamas to come back, you said?
Yeah,
Okay.
quit in Bahamas to come back
Hmm.
to the Netherlands. And in that period, it was like a 9-month period. I really saw the assortment in Mexican food in supermarkets going very big, and then like 10 restaurants popped out, taquerias and stuff. So I thought, okay. Uh, and I saw the tortillas, and I was going, okay, so there's a market for tortillas here. And then I came with Mexico realizing a lot, because also in Mexico, I noticed two restaurants. There's a big restaurant in Monterrey, where I am from, Monterrey, Mexico, who are, let's say, kind of quoted reinventing like chilaquiles. And chilaquiles is like the oldest thing, in Mexico. And
Reinventing chilaquiles?
like it's
Interesting.
like super, but they made it a very good job and trending, and this
Mm.
how they present the menu and the toppings or the flavors. So what I'm trying to say, maybe in a nutshell, is that I realize that it's never too late. Like
Mm.
everything is too old. If you make it good, better, or consistent, people will come, right? So I was that
Mm.
with that thought, I came back and I said, okay, maybe there's not many tortillas here, but the tortillas are there. I'm not gonna reinvent tortilla, but I'm gonna make something with a lot of
Mhm.
passion and different. And if I'm like persistent enough, like it will come, right?
Mhm.
I always have these sayings I used to like when I was a kid, a lot of movies. So, this, how did it call the movie? Not important. Like build it, and Kevin Costner, build Philip
Yeah.
Dreams, build it and they
Yeah, the
will come,
feel
right? Build it and they will come. So I said, okay,
yes.
just be
Yep.
there. If I'm persistent enough, eventually I will get there. But also, like, not just dreaming about. So I saw the market. I went to the stores, and then I started to see like how many assortment, how many sizes, like the pricing point. And then actually for a couple of weeks ago, I was going to the same Albertheim to see and measure the retail, the turnaround. And then I said, okay, if this store is turning X amount of
Mm.
euros a week times X amount of Albertheims, like, okay, that's big. And then
Mm.
if Jumbo is the same and if this is the same. And then in that point, we went also to Poland, because Magna office, Magna Polish. And we went, and Magda also had a lot of experience in FMCG. She worked for Frito-Lay
Mm.
so in chips, like the snacks, right? So
Mhm.
she was a bit skeptical when I was telling him my old things, my old school, go to the store and count and come back and
Yeah.
count and calculate those things. And at that time last year, we went to this little town where she's from. Her mom was born, and in a little town, like 2,000 people live there, or less. And there were two little shops, and they had tortillas. And we started to measure the turnaround. And Magda was like, okay, now you're right. Now I got her interest.
Wow.
Well, we realized that this is massive, and the tortillas is already there. There's a market, and it's real, and it's happening. So we calculated the market, and
Mm.
to this day, I say if I get 1% of that, I
Yeah.
retire, and if the next generation should be fine.
Thank you,
Please.
tortillas. Yeah.
Yeah, so we started that, but my dream, my idea was to start a factory, or to start making tortillas.
Mm.
And then, I took some tortillas to Mars, so first Monterey, and for you guys, and you seem to liked it. Another friend liked them also. So yeah, I
Mhm.
said, okay, maybe there is something here.
Mm.
By hand, I started to do them by hand. You were my first customer. I said, hand by hand, by hand, by hand. Also, very very nice that Mars was super honest feedback, like, right. And so I said, okay, I have to make it better. And you keep going, you keep going. And then when I went to offer them to a restaurant, to Los Pilones, because I had a good relationship with them as a Mexican, nothing special. Like, I was eating there a lot, and my daughter used to work for them. So I said, let me go. And they believed in that, and they really helped, and they started to buy. They said, okay, I will order from you. And then again, you go like, okay, how am I going to do this? So just work
Mm.
harder and this and that. And that's how the journey started. And then I went to another restaurant, and they also wanted to buy Los Lupe. And then at one point, I couldn't handle la tortilla making it by hand.
Mm.
So I decided to to move out of the kitchen. Well,
Mhm.
decided, and Magda was really, really supportive in getting me
Yeah.
out of the everything was there, and it was not, anyway, that I won't get into that. But I went to a friend. one owner of a restaurant, and he told me like, okay, hey, maybe you're serious about this. There's this little location that you should check out, because I was trying to rent a kitchen, but here is very expensive, and I saw the numbers, and it was not possible. And
Mm.
open spaces, and I didn't feel comfortable. And he said, no, that is not the idea. If you're serious about this, you should then go and check this place. And it's where the shop is right now. And yeah, and I was there, and I was like, hey, I got excited. But in my mind, I was like, but this is not, I cannot produce here. This is more like a shop or like a
Mm.
little restaurant. This has a kitchen. How am I going to do it? But it's nice. And
Mm.
then you start to listen to people, which I think was something that really helped me right now,
Mm.
listening to feedback from people that really try to help you sometimes. And instead of regarding them or being like very rigid in my idea, it's like, okay, let me see what people are thinking. And I got a bit of a pit, because I said, okay, to be honest, selling tortillas in this market, only tortillas, I will make it, right? It's still too small to sell to end customers, to customers. And I don't want to sell to supermarkets. I believe a lot in, I come from supermarkets, so they're not the nicest, the big
Yeah.
names. So anyway, um, yeah, so and it took me like, it passed like 3 weeks or 4 weeks, and I didn't do anything. And then I looked again one day to the web page where the store or the location was posted. It's still available. I said, okay. And I went there, saw it, and then I just made an offer if I could get it. Of course, not expecting I would get it, but I said, let me do it. I mean, not expected, because a lot of competition. You know how
Yeah.
Amsterdam is with all
Yeah. Sure.
how do you call it? The betting or
Yeah. Yeah.
and turns out I got it. So,
Wow.
so I
Shock.
was like, okay. And as you know, in this country, also when you make an offer, it's a binding contract. It's not that
Mm.
you just, yeah, I was exploring, or let me see, not
Yeah.
interested anymore. So
Kidding. Yeah.
so that was it. And then I really got nervous. And I think, something that really was right now understand is really how to learn just to, as they say, just go with the flow,
Mm.
not lightly. It's not easy, but it's just like not get. I was trying a lot not to get stuck there. Just try to find another solution, find another answer.
Mm.
And then at that time, they invited me a little restaurant that was gonna buy from me, and they invited me to sell in the market, in one of the market. Their location had an access to the street market. So I was there a couple of days, and I met one person, Luz, which basically turned out she used to work in the Mexican embassy, not anymore. And I recognized her, and we started to connect again. And actually, then she got my tortillas. She said they're very good. She started to give them away to friends. And I'm gonna make a little link to Yola now, because Yola,
Mm.
I have heard from Yola before.
Mhm.
She's a pioneer on making sweet bread and Mexican
Mhm.
pan dulce. And I never met her, but I always thought like, okay, this is interesting. And what she's doing is amazing with the porquitos and the conchas and gancitos and stuff like that. And I kind of like admire her, like, like she's doing this, it must be difficult. And I heard very good things about her everywhere. Uh, Turns out that Luz connected us. So Luz invites me to a Mexican event in the embassy, which I hate those events. I really, really hate. And I said, okay, let me just go. Like, again, be flexible, not to
Yep.
learn. This is event.
Yep.
So I go there, and I met Yola, and she tells me like, oh, I tried your tortillas already. And I was like, okay, this is, I felt nervous, but they're
Yeah.
great. So it was like, okay, this is nice. And yeah, then Yola and I started to get together. She only sells online. Turns out that Yola, the same person that recommended this location for me, had recommended that location to Yola. So Yola knew the location. And when she told me, it was like, okay. And we got, yeah, we really matched on our vision of, let's say, on life, personal values, business values, on the business. And we decided to do this design. I told her, "Look, let's do this. I want you to sell your bread in the store, and let's try to do this." because the other option was to be a taqueria. But I said,
Mm,
everybody's doing tacos, and I don't
mhm,
want to do tacos. I want to do tortillas.
mm,
And I think that is something that got also what Yola and me together. Let's say I'm crazy enough to only do tortillas. I believe in my tortillas. I don't want to do tacos. I don't want to do mezcal.
yeah,
People have told me like it's not doable. It will take you a lot of time. I say okay, but it's there. The market is there. I want 1% of. I have it very
mhm,
clear
mhm,
what that value is, and I'm still to this day like thinking my thing is the tortillas is okay. So and but I'm trying to say also like be flexible enough that life started to take me to the kind of store, right?
mm,
And was also very nice because I was very nervous. I only buy tortillas. I couldn't make it in that location because it was too small to produce.
mm,
And again, I would have need to sell I don't know how much tortillas to make it profitable still.
mm,
It will
mm,
come, but anyway.
yeah.
And yeah, that was the journey basically. And we got together and turns out now, if I turn back, people are saying we didn't really realize that at the moment that we are the first Mexican bakery and
Mm,
tortilleria in the Netherlands, right? And
mm.
making these things. So
It's in the
I'm pretty
Netherlands, not just Amsterdam, in all of the Netherlands.
yeah, two
Wow.
people, two influencers, and one lady from she's specializing in gastronomical food across the
Mhm,
Netherlands. Since we're
mm.
the first physical space
Oh,
in the
amazing.
Netherlands. And it's been overwhelming. The neighbors have been very welcoming, people liking, sharing our culture, sharing the concha, sharing traditional bread that we do in Pan de Muertos now for the King's Day, the Three Kings coming. Um, the parole came, the newspaper came, and they had an article. And some
Mm,
influencers have supported a lot
mm,
us, and they're happy.
mhm.
And it's been a journey overwhelming, as you say.
Yeah, and now you're on the One Handshake podcast. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
you know,
It's like Marta was also telling me like, "Hey, you know, I don't know. I'm so grateful people like it coming, and a lot of work. You know, also coming from the corporate life at the beginning was super
mm,
difficult because you're used to okay, I need a paperback, call procurement. I need a contract, call legal.
yes.
No, I am everything, right?
Yeah,
And also
suddenly.
dealing when I decided to do this, I decided to make it in a different country. So normally
Mm,
when you start a business, still in your own country, it's not that it's easier, but you have this support contact, personal contacts, and business contact, which is a reality to make a business. You need those contacts, and you go do this, you do or whatever. And this also has been something hard, but it has given me a lot of energy and again, coming out from a burnout, a lot of energy that, okay, I can do this. I was able to do this. Maybe I forgot because of whatever, but I'm able. So this all
mm,
this energy coming and it's coming back. I sometimes really feel like I'm in college. I'm out of college again that I want to eat the world, right? The
mm.
body tells me I'm not that young anymore.
Yeah, yeah.
But spirit wise, super, super nice. So
Mm,
yeah, and I still want to hopefully by the plans for this year is to put the factory because we cannot produce anymore and we're capped in the production.
wow.
So now it's very clear that we have two businesses. One is
Mm,
for the stores because we want
mhm,
to grow in the bakeries. I think there's an opportunity. It's being super, super, yeah, humble, overwhelming in a positive way. People texting us from Austria, Switzerland, open a store here. You should come here. Like,
wow,
okay, this is crazy, right?
wow.
I always just say, please keep your feet on the earth and focus on what you're doing.
Right.
It would be very important just to focus. Uh, and yeah, that's basically
Yeah.
the journey. So turns out that we have very clearly the opportunity to make two businesses. One is a
Mm,
factory, the tortillas,
mhm,
and the other the stores to continue growing on the bakery tortilleria. And that's a lot what we tell people, customers that come in and you have savory things, and we say no, because at the shop we offer quesadillas, and we were
mhm,
offering tacos, um, but we are clear to explain to people, okay, we are doing this so you can try the tortillas
mhm,
and they get something for dessert and sweets, but we are bakery tortillas.
mm,
Many
mm,
people are doing a great job on the tacos, tequila, mezcal,
mhm,
but we want to stick to what we
mhm.
do.
So I
And
think
there
your
is also
stories I'm sorry to interrupt you. I thought you were
no,
done.
no,
I'm
no,
sorry.
no, go.
Yeah, no, I'm just like listening to you. I feel like for you, it's so matter of fact, like this has been your story. And this is one of the reasons I'm so happy to be able to chat with you is because you're so kind of down to earth, so humble, so human about it. But I think it's important to, like, you did talk about it, but to really like highlight it that when you left corporate, like it wasn't that you were like ready to go, that you had this idea on the side and knew exactly what you were doing. You left and then had to go through your kind of moment to get, find out, kind of get back connected to yourself. You talked about going through a burnout, but then, so to kind of go through all of that, those, weeks and months, and I think even more than a couple of years to be able to figure out what's next, what's next. So to have walked that path, that is not easy. And that can be a heavy weight to carry day after day, especially when you're accustomed to having a certain title, a certain degree of influence and like professional reputation to
Yeah,
then not have those things.
exactly.
So it's not easy to walk that path. And so I just want to really make sure that is emphasized that that is your experience is. It's like it's not as if like this is an overnight success that was just kind of handed to you. It's like it's a lot of grit, a lot of yeah, a lot of mindset work that went into it. You talked about the importance of having people around, but also like people around you that were not coming directly from your corporate life. So like new relationships, new people around, but then also having enough humility and open-mindedness to be responsive to feedback because not
Mhm.
everybody is. And I think that's another really important theme of what your story has been and continues to be, while also staying true to what it is that matters to you and what you want and what your values are and continuing to build that and people are responding to it. And I'm so flipping excited for you about that.
So thank you. Yes. No, thank you. And yes, as you say, the only thing I would add to that is also when you're coming, at least in my case, after I said more than 20 years in corporate, only corporate, also your mindset has to change. And like you're a small business, you will have time to, if you still try to operate like, I need to have to take a decision. I need to make this analysis on these
Hmm.
things, or I don't have this data. Nah, it's nothing matter. Just go, go, keep
Yeah.
going, take decisions, and yeah, that's been a journey. And as you say, the importance really, and I also want to emphasize this because I do take credit sometimes. I go like, okay, I feel proud of what you're doing.
Hmm.
This is you look back and say, okay, this this is something you've done. But also very important that I've not done it alone, right? It's from a
Hmm.
personal since Magda supporting, very important, friends
Hmm.
supporting. In this case, like again, like you, Mars, and other friends, and a lot of people are involved in this. And I think you
Hmm.
have to give credit to that.
Hmm.
That you don't do anything on your own. If you let people support you, hold you, guide you, I don't know, and then this energy starts to flow.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah, we're all interconnected, and
Hmm.
that I believe a lot. So
Hmm.
I'm very grateful that I've had so many people helping, supporting in many ways.
Yeah.
I'm doing my part, of course, but
Yeah.
it's important to always recognize. I think that you're not alone in any case. Positive,
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
think I hope I'm it makes
Yeah, no, it completely
self.
does. No, I'm just
And
thinking you went from, like, EBITDA models and, like, thousands of stores and all of that to flour and ovens and early mornings, right? So, what's, like what's been most surprising to you about this transition, like, this significant career pivot for you? What's been most surprising?
surprising. I think you know it, but when you're living it, it's amazing the amount of
Mm.
hours you have to put in, right? Suddenly your life changes a lot, like the dynamic at home. We were talking about this a bit earlier. So the
Mm,
dynamic at home, suddenly having to do anything, you cannot
mm,
get tired, you cannot get sick, you have to take
mm,
all the decisions.
mm,
If you don't stop, then the business stops, right?
mm,
Um,
hmm.
being very patient. I used to wake up a lot, like at 3 a.m. Like, what did I do? Close the store. And sometimes I go like, I insist, it's gonna be okay. You can do it. This is good.
Yeah.
Um, but having the patience, sometimes, for example, I still have this thing that I need to sell more, but I said, okay, the first 6 months are gonna be, if I meet this target, it's okay. So I have to stick to that
Mm,
is a target, no more.
mm.
that kind of patience, that I see that what I said it was a big success, not to doubt and stick to that, even if it takes more time.
Mm-hmm.
If I said it's gonna take 6 months, and for some reason I got it faster, then don't rush and take the next steps. So,
Mm,
like if I said I'm gonna sell 10 euros in month one, and I managed to sell it in half a month or the first month, doesn't mean that I want to jump to 30. Okay, be
mm,
consistent, be patient
mhm,
in
mhm.
that sense. And the other thing that has been surprising is the energy I had that I didn't think I had because of the
Interesting.
dynamic I was doing or the
Yeah.
life I was used to doing. And I don't know how to put it. It's amazing the inner energy, so to speak. My body is very tired, really.
Mm, yeah.
And it's long hours and standing. But I just want to keep going. And
Mm,
it's or
mm,
in a nutshell, also I can say that I think I found my at least one passion.
mm,
Uh, I love to make tortillas. I love it. I just start and make it and do it, and I love it. I love it, and I love to talk to people. I love what I'm doing.
mm.
And it's not
So
this romantic dream that in my passion I found it my dream. No, it's just
yeah.
I found a purpose to do this,
Mhm,
personally and also economically, let's say, or
mhm,
I do believe this can be give us a good life, of
mhm,
money wise, than earnings or
mhm,
income, let's say.
mhm, mhm,
And as you know, I'm 53, so I thought I was getting ready to retire, and now surprisingly, I'm like, no, I have 10
mm,
years and I'm gonna give it all I go, and I wanna make this grow. So that
yeah,
was a bit also surprising in a positive way, that
yeah,
it's truly never too late, honestly, as they say. And I used to say a lot that everybody has our time to shine.
mm,
I'm discovering that maybe this is my time now. Yeah,
mm,
I was not ready for some reason. Now I am ready, and I think this
mm,
is it.
I love that.
Yeah.
So does this feel like this chapter right now, does it feel like the next thing? Like, or is it like the thing for now? Does it feel like this is for ongoing, or does it feel like temporary? Like when you started, were you feeling like, I'll just see how this goes, test it? Or yeah, talk a little bit about that.
Oh, funny that you asked, because we were talking Magdami recently about that. No, this feels honestly as like my legacy.
Mm,
I wanna be at least, or set the big foundations, make it grow, either for my kids to take it, or
mhm,
to then uh, somebody else will take it. I don't know.
mhm, mhm,
Also, something important in the journey that I really want to highlight, it's the part of Yola, because Yola is 33 years old. So it
mm.
was when I met her and I saw 33, I'm like, it's like
Wow.
this so young with all this energy, and also so brave and making it
Yeah.
happen. She's an amazing worker,
Mm,
super
mm, mm,
professional and passionate, and she makes a lot of things. But
mm.
this compliment, actually, like the
Yeah.
intern,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, really, it's been amazing, and that's been a very powerful combination that's making us also very successful. So
Wow. Strong
maybe she will
partnership.
continue. Give me
Yeah.
1 second.
Go
Maybe
outside.
no. Sorry. And so that's been very powerful. Sorry, and
Mm,
maybe she will continue. I don't know, but
mm,
trying to make a nutshell. No, I think this is like the beginning of something big, not
mm,
just one chapter. And I hope I can see it grow. And whoever takes what I only have clear is that this will be me in front of it. Maybe I
mm,
don't know how many years I want to be keep being part of it. I don't know if necessarily leading it myself. I don't know if that makes sense, or I'm answering the
mhm,
question.
mhm, mhm,
Yeah, this is gonna be like my legacy. That's what I want to
mm.
say.
Okay.
I see it that way. Thanks.
Okay. And so for someone who's maybe questioning their current or their next chapter, what would you say to them right now? What would you want them to hear?
Maybe just be patient. Of
Mm,
course, be scared, but keep going. And again, it's something maybe romantic or cliche, but the best things are beyond beer, and it is true. once you break the fear, you break the barrier, you just manage to cross a stuff, go,
Mm. Mm.
the things will go, the path will show, everything will, oh, just keep going,
Mhm. Mhm.
and it's never too late. Honestly, it's never too late.
Mm.
And let people help you. Also, you
Mm.
cannot do it on your own and everything.
Mm.
So yeah,
Mm. Do
just
you have the fear less and less or more and more, or is this the level of fear or the frequency that you have the fear? Is it the same as when you first started?
it's a bit less because things are
Mm.
going well, but then it's a matter of keeping very focused and always remembering that it can go wrong, right?
Mm.
Uh, like not say Mexico, campanas al aire, no. It's just like you're doing good today, keep doing what you're doing, and remember remember my vision, remember my dream, remember when I have a lot of doubts or scare, I go like, no, the market is there, I just need to keep
Mm.
going. So when something
Mm.
is wrong, I said, okay, just keep going. uh,
Mhm.
People are buying tortillas, they will eventually buy yours.
Mhm.
Focus on the quality, focus on the so the fear is bit less.
Mm.
Not maybe the fear is kind of the same, but it doesn't paralyzes me anymore,
Mm.
or I don't wake up at night worrying. And the fear
Yeah.
is like, okay, I hope everything goes well. I need to make sure this is not the victory. I haven't won anything.
Yeah.
The game yet. Just keep going. I'm doing well, so keep going. I'm doing well.
Yep.
Keep going.
Keep
That
swimming.
makes sense. Yes,
Yeah. It's good.
and maybe also the fear turns more into worries or
Mm.
solving things. Like, okay, now
Mm.
we just hire 3 people, for example, for this month.
Wow.
So finally we have a team. But then you
Wow.
worry like all the
Congratulations.
time.
That's a big deal
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
Yes, yes, important because I cannot do this over all the
Mm.
time. So those are the things that now I worry about people. Now I worry that they will stay. I worry that they will.
Mm.
So that part becomes so
Mm.
fear becomes more on action,
Mm.
and then more of a worrying part on things that you need to do. But
Mm.
fear percent, no.
Okay. So, for those living in Amsterdam or the next time you travel to Amsterdam, go visit the flour shop for some authentic tortillas, conchas, tacos, and who knows what else is coming, right? So,
Yes.
we'll definitely put the link in the show notes as well as all the social media handles. So, for
Thank you very
everybody to be
much.
able to check out, see what you're doing. I think, yeah, you have an amazing story and incredible food. So, I highly recommend it. If you're navigating a transition or recalibrating your own life and growing beyond your current network, One Handshake is a community worth looking into. So check out onehandshake.co. And with that, I just want to say thanks again, Jaime, so much for your time and just being,
Mm.
yeah, being real with us and being willing to share kind of the raw truth, the human experience that you've endured during this journey. So I really appreciate your time.
Thank you, Lynn, again, and hi to everybody. And
Yeah.
hope to see you at the shop. Let us know.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. And so thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next episode. Cheers.
Cheers.